Hey, Sharon, I might just get you on this. You've got some burning problems that I reckon are going to be relevant to people in the room at the moment, like Susan, like Christina, like Mike. I don't know if you spoke about some of these challenges you've got yesterday when you guys caught up separately or not. Did you, or did you come up with some strategies for short lead sales?
No, yesterday was more a meet and greet and introduction
cool.
session, really.
Yeah. Okay. No worries. I'll just share screen, and I just jotted down a few quick notes before the call, but basically without running through a long detailed email here, you obviously, you and Patrick run a multi-day business. He's off on tour at the moment. You're holding the fort. You're buried in operations in a lot of respects and haven't really had an opportunity to turn your eye to driving sales. You've got this upcoming trip to far north Queensland, Cairns to Cape York. It's coming around super quick, 23 days from departure. You've got 0 bookings at this point in time. You've run paid ads with mediocre results. Pretty, like underwhelming results, to be honest. Like you can count your leads on one hand. So it's how much, what's your ad spend been roughly to promote the trip?
That was just 1 week or 5 days at $50. So
okay, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are your options at the moment? And you've got obviously some promotionals, which I took a look at. You've got your invitation and a few promos here. You've got some nice marketing materials. So you've got all of the stuff that you need. But I guess the first thing is set expectations. Like you're 23 days out from a trip that usually a 3 to 4 month lead time would be minimum to sell a trip that you've got 0 people booked on at the moment.
Yeah. So usually, like, we've sold this trip multiple times in the past. It's always been full. But so it's just interesting that there's nothing at the moment for this one.
Well, that's all right. Things like this, they happen for a reason. And it gives you, because it's so easy to fall into, like a level of complacency when things just continue to roll on and, year after year doing the same sort of stuff, getting the similar kind of results. And now you're like, wow, we've got to shake things up and do things differently. That's sort of where you're at? Because whatever we're doing, we're either the well is running dry or, and your audience has just been, what's the word I'm looking for? Not saturated, but you've squeezed every drop out of it.
That's what I think is the case. We need new audience. We need to be in front of new people.
Okay, so your assets at the moment, I was just curious, and you sent me through a message. I've got like literally 2 minutes ago.
Yes.
That's fine. So as it stands today, roughly speaking, you got about 600 connections on LinkedIn. You got like 6,000 followers across all platforms, social media followers. Is that right?
Yeah.
You've got an email list of 3K, but only 1,000 is your target audience. So what's the other 2K? Is that just...
They'd be related to like the other business. Patrick's got a health food business. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So that is an asset that you could leverage in some way, but, and then you've got 1,000 that are your, like your
previous clients, basically. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So what do you do now? Well, you don't really have budget to go out there and start advertising, I'm guessing. I mean, you could get a few like timely pieces in a few publications. You could increase ad spend a little bit, but strategies that I can think of, and like I just jotted a few notes down before the call that you can work on instantly that don't take investment. And you've got a few resources in the business at the moment. You've got a virtual assistant or 2 virtual assistants that you're using at the moment. Is that right?
Just one now.
Oh,
we had to let one go because of budgets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're bare bones. Okay. So a couple of thoughts for you. I literally just jotted these down about 5 minutes ago. Well, the first thing is like you've got your promotionals here and you've got your invitation to join the group. There's some good, copy that's written in an authentic manner. You could use ChatGPT to really bring it to life and speak directly to your audience. So that's one thing that wouldn't cost you a lot of money to write some really, really great copy. That was just one thought and consideration. But at the moment, the stuff you're going to need to do, I reckon, is to really create a call to action, get people motivated to take action, and see if you can't pick up some of those levels of interest that you'll never know about because you haven't actually moved them along from like, oh, that sounds interesting, to raising their hand to getting them on a call and getting them to take action. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I guess one way to go about it is to really sort of shift the emphasis. So obviously when you're running something you want to sell quickly, well, you can do an early bird special at one end with a long lead time, but then you're probably looking more at like a last minute special, and it's not going to be a last minute special as in, hey, we haven't sold a single spot, like who's going to join, but like, you know, like you're going to need to sort of embellish things a little bit. So you've got 4 spots to fill, last minute special. So that's what I'd be going at really, really hard. And then in your invitation, in your emails, because you want to be writing an email a day to that list, definitely. Okay. Needs to be 3 lines long, not like a big long-winded explanation of what you do. But it's you know, you've got to call out your audience first of all. Now you've got, as guys have got your target audience sort of fairly well dialed in. A lot of it is single women. I'm getting now. Don't worry if I get it wrong, but I'm just giving you, you know, like a indication that you have a fairly well dialed in view of who your target audience is. Single women working in like the medical field, nurses, things like that. They feel a bit scared about traveling alone. They want to travel in a community. They want to feel safe and looked after. They don't have massive budgets, but they want to sort of get themselves out of their comfort zone, doing something a little bit adventurous and
they're all adventurers. Right? Yeah, they're all adventurers, all basically from hiking backgrounds and stuff like that.
Cool. So you first want to call out who your audience is. Like if you're someone who potentially works in these sort of fields, you travel alone generally, or you'd love to, but you just feel a little bit you know, scared, or you might not want to use that word, uncomfortable, pushing the bounds, getting yourself out there. You've got an adventurous spirit. You love the great outdoors. You love meeting like-minded people in a really safe, inclusive environment. This trip is specifically for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So calling out your audience is like a massive, massive thing. Who's it actually for? And people are like nodding along, like that's actually me. She's speaking to me. Okay.
Yeah.
So then that's who it's for. And then how are you different? Like how's Sky Road Trails different? And that's the next part of it, because there's a lot of options out there. There's a lot of multi-day trips. There's a lot of opportunities to jump on day tours. But over here, we're different in the sense that we do this thing, we do that thing. We understand this thing about you. You know, why you? Why are you different? Because there's like the world and the country is saturated with choices. Yeah. I'm going to just share this link to these quick notes as well. They may not make sense. I literally like probably my grammar's horrific, and you might need to just sort of tidy them up yourself. But so then the first thing, you just want to pepper people with communications, and that's going to be posting on your platforms, direct message, like literally direct message people. You know,
I'm doing a lot of the direct messaging, and what I'm finding is that like 90% of them don't reach them. I get that little tick that says that it's, you know, gone, but that's not being read by them.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know where it goes to, or these people just aren't on Messenger once a week type of thing, or
that's it. And you can't. There's nothing you can do about that. You could certainly give people a call to action in the posts that you do, both on LinkedIn and Facebook. Okay. LinkedIn would probably be the preference there, but also LinkedIn's much more powerful because once you're connected, then your messages are going direct. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they will get read. So I'd be focusing on LinkedIn, because also your search capabilities and filtering is so much more powerful. You can zero in on the nursing industry or specific companies, specific keywords, you know, so definitely on LinkedIn, that'd be really, really powerful, especially for direct customers in your target market in certain roles, and also for agents. So the first thing is, you know, once you've called that trip out, you know, not like, hey, let's get on a call, but like we've got this last minute special. We're running these Ask Me Anything, 15-minute Ask Me Anything sessions this week. Have you got Calendly or OneHub or something like that with an actual calendar? It costs you like $15 a month, so people can actually book a call.
Okay.
Makes it more of a thing, makes it more professional. You try that, but then you can try a more casual approach, which is like, hey, we're doing these calls. What's your schedule like over the next 2 days? So actually make it a thing. We're running these sessions for people who've expressed interest in this trip, because it's selling, you know, we're nearly there. getting close to departure. We've got 4 spots to sell. Okay. It's going to be like life-changing, blah, 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 blah. So people might book those trips. That's the first thing. The next is like, you're so dialed in on your audience. You've got a virtual assistant. I'd be looking at 50 fishing holes, like both online and in the real world. Where
I started that last week. Yeah.
So get a list of them, and your virtual assistant with the right training can get that list for you with the contact numbers or emails and the name of the gatekeeper or decision maker. It could be the secretary or the executive assistant or, whatever it is. But fishing holes, things that they do in their extracurricular time, membership organizations like a nursing fraternity or whatever it is like that. So, and then going direct to that gatekeeper with what? We'll talk about that in a second. The next thing you could do is create a really simple motivating offer, give 10, get 10 for partners.
Mm-hmm.
Now with partners, I'm saying like, who's got an audience you can use? Well, like Christina's got an audience you can use who does something different to you, but possibly to a similar audience. Who else has an audience that you could leverage? I'm going to use maybe Christina's target market is not exactly the same as yours. She does outbound, you do inbound. Mm-hmm. Is there some crossover? I don't know. But who's got an audience that you could use? Who runs day tours in Australia? I'm just using our program as one example of many.
Yeah.
Day tours who focus on the domestic market, who might run not like $95 Great Ocean Road tours. They've got a list of, 10,000, whatever it is. But a give 10, get 10. You've got a $3,200, you've got to price it up, $3,200 trip. You've got someone like Christina who's going to make a 10% commission on any sale. You could do like a coupon code, like just give her a code, whatever, you could do it really simply, or you could set up, let's just do it simply. Give her some kind of a code that she can give to people when they inquire or book. And Christina is able to then pass on a 10% commission, like a 10% discount, to that person. So, you need to have a 20% buffer factored in.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Which, if you just want to run the trip, I don't know. Do the numbers work? That's something that you need to ask yourself or crunch out.
Yeah.
But Christina could promote to, let's say, hypothetically, she had a list of 5,000 and she really believes in what you do. It's completely different to what she does, but to the same audience.
Yeah.
And you can create a message for Christina, because if you ask Christina to do something for you and she's got all the motivation in the world, but she's got to actually do some work, then she won't do it. Okay. So if you ask Christina, where are we? Here. Here's a message. It's like, hey, name, thought you might be interested in this. It's from a really great friend of mine / valued partner. It might be in line. Obviously you've traveled to Egypt with us in the past. I don't know if you're looking at something this year that fits in with your other travel plans that's more local. But anyway, Sharon and Patrick run an amazing trip. They do blah, blah, blah. So don't make it too long, but just a cut and paste message. Yeah. I've got a special offer for you. Check it out. Here's the information. And there's a 10% discount if you use this code. So, and then all Christina's got to do is literally cut and paste that. Okay. Think of 15 people in her circle, or it could go out to our list, to our email list as a promo. Okay. I'm only using Christina hypothetically. This may not be the right fit. Okay.
Yeah.
So the fastest way to sell something is by trying to think who shares an audience or a customer. Who has an audience that you can borrow? Okay. And how can you motivate them to allow you to share that audience or borrow that audience? Okay. That doesn't cost you anything. All right.
Yeah.
Then on the spirit of emails, because you should be sending an email every day to that list of 1,000, getting them to raise their hand and say, hey, I'm curious to learn more about this. If you ask that 1,000 people, if I surveyed them right now and asked them what exactly they know about you, about this trip that you're promoting, they'll be like, I sort of know Sharon. Yeah. Well, they are previous, past clients, but I missed it. Have no idea. Don't know what's running. Don't know what it costs. Don't even know if it's suitable for me because I've just missed it. Okay. So you need to be getting in front of them and warming them up at every opportunity, every single day with a 1-line, 2-line email. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So then you've got the email for their you've got the email for the last minute special, 4 spots remaining. You've got the email with the 15-minute Ask Me Anything, with a reminder of the last minute special, 4 spots remaining. Then there's going to be something else. It could be something cool about the trip. Then next week, there's a non-buyers email, which is a subject, mind if I ask you a quick question? You had the chance last week to take us up on our last minute special for our trip. For just a reminder about the trip. If you're someone who blah, 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 and blah, 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 this is specifically for you. Never done it, seen anything like it. Anyway, you took us up, you had an opportunity to take us up on the offer. You chose not to on this occasion. Mind if I ask you why? Anything you can tell me will be hugely valuable. So they just think that you're wanting to improve your business by learning more about your customer. And then you're going to get people engaged. They're like, yeah, you know, might not be the right time this year. And you could sort of crush that objection by, well, there's no good time, or, you know what, hear what you're saying, but have you considered this? So, you know, like your engagement will be, hey, I didn't even know about it. Tell me, send me some information. Or it was a little bit pricey. You're like, well, look what I can do for you. Added to that, if you want to refer 2 of your friends, I'm going to give you further 20%. Like your trip will actually pay for itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So once you get people engaged, magic happens. Okay. So then you've got the non-buyers email. These emails, I'm telling you, are like 1 sentence or 2 sentences long. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you've got to refer a friend. That could go out to anyone in your list, even if they might not actually be interested in taking this trip. And you could copy and paste the message. And the message could be something like, hey, name, I've been following these guys for a while. I love what they do. I can't make this trip, but I thought you'd be interested in it. Literally write the message. And Sharon has offered me a 10% referral discount to anyone that wants to join. They've got 4 spots remaining. Write the message, send it out to 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Send it out to, you know, to like go berserk, just saturate. Okay. Then the next one, what else have I got there? I was thinking, the other one I was thinking is media releases. Have you written a media release about the trip?
No, not this one.
Okay. So if you go into the members area here, into the inside the Tour Business Resources, and you go down to marketing, you could do this in half an hour. Use one of my sample press releases. These converted really high. Write a press release, and you can do 1 or 2 things. This was one that I did for my Spanish trip a number of years ago, and we sold out 2 trips literally on the back of this, press release. Okay, so I reckon you might be able to craft something similar to that with last minute special, 4 spots remaining. Okay, then you could get your virtual assistant. Now I've done a bit of the work for you. This is a little bit of a process, and you may or may not have success with this, but what you're doing right now is testing a whole bunch of shit that you're going to be able to use next time, the time after, the time after, the time after that. Okay. And things, you're going to learn so much. You might not have the success you're after this time, but you're going to learn about stuff that works. Okay. And then you won't be starting from scratch next time. So, and I know we spent a lot of time on this morning, guys, but I think there's some useful advice here for everyone. So what was I? Oh yeah. So back here in the inside the Tour Business Resources, you've then also got your sample list of Australian publications. Okay. So you could then kick this list over. It's just a basic name list of publications. Kick it over to your virtual assistant and get him or her to populate
get the contacts.
This.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And just send it out. The same media release you can send to agents. So you should also, your virtual assistant, if you've been following my strategies, should have at this point watched this video here down in week 3 of how to grow your email list through LinkedIn prospecting.
Yeah, definitely has. Right? Yeah.
So you should have hundreds of agents on your list by this point over the last few weeks that you're also going to send that media release out to. Thinking, hey, anyone you've got in mind that would be a good fit for this trip? We've got this last minute special going. We've got 4 spots to fill, commissionable to 10%.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
These strategies, every one of these strategies I'm telling you about, takes half an hour to actually implement, so, and if you, so I'd be doing all of this stuff, like, get your, obviously Patrick's on the road, get your virtual assistant, and just load him up with a whole bunch of these things. And you can implement 5 or 6 strategies, in the next 48 hours, 72 hours. You really, really can. And then what else did I have? Try this as well as another email. So this is an email that you can adapt to your business, but I use this email from time to time, and every time I send it out, it's probably worth $20,000 or $30,000 in business for me. Okay. And you can adapt it to your audience, I believe. I'm all about trying shit, so just try it. Like, this is an email that starts with opportunity. Okay. So I'm looking for 4 adventurous solo women travelers, whatever, who want to push the boundaries, get out of their comfort zone, and have a travel experience that's going to change their life later this month. I don't know, you're going to have to write the email, but you can see where to insert, I'm looking for blah, 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 who want to blah, blah, blah. So if you blah, 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 and are ready to go, just hit reply with tell me more, and I'll get you the details.
Okay. And you're offering them an incentive to do that?
All you want them to do is raise their hand.
Okay.
And the way they raise their hand is by saying, tell me more.
Yeah. Okay.
So all they've got to do is send you an email that says, tell me more. And you get on the phone. You're like, this is what we've got. This is what's going on. This is, are you this person? You listen to them. But okay, so try it. All of you try it. If you're running multi-day trips and you want to get if you've got a list that you would love to get on one of your trips, just try it. I've got a whole bunch of other emails just like that, but that's one I thought might be particularly relevant for you guys or for you.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like calling out people.
Yeah. And all you want to do is get them to raise their hand and say, tell me more. Okay. Then you convert them, and I'll teach you how to convert them next. But so anyway, there's a whole bunch of strategies. And then obviously the other one, it goes without saying, is the community. We've got 180 people in this coaching program. We've got a big chunk who run multi-day trips. Every single one of them has sat in your seat or even a bit further on the journey. And they've got a trip that they've got 5 or 6 booked on, and they need 8 to make it viable. It's running in 6 weeks, and they've got to sell those last spots. What have they done that worked for them? So again, if you want to call it out in the Facebook group, here's the deal. This is where I'm at. Who's got a strategy? I'm sure a lot of you multi-day operators have faced this challenge. You got a trip, it's not full. You need more spots to make it viable, and the clock's ticking. Have you got any strategy? Anyone want to share strategies that have worked for them? Okay.
Yep.
Cool. I think there's plenty to go on there.
Yep. Thanks. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Anyone got any questions? Mike, I reckon there's some really interesting stuff there for you as well.
It is. Yeah. There's a lot of ideas.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions? I'll just jump in the chat quickly, see. Please. Yeah, there you go. So Kenya, send the trip details. It's obviously, it's a really geared towards the Australian market. It's an inbound, it's a domestic trip, but like test stuff. Is there an audience there that would line up with Kenya's, who runs wine tours? But I guess there's a crossover in the actual audience. Just the geographically might be challenging. Karishma, I reckon that would be a really good. Thinking about this, Karishma, I'm just looking in the chat. You and Sharon should definitely talk, because that's exactly who you serve. Young professional women, a lot of single women. You guys could have a lot of success collaborating, partnering, similar types of experiences to the local market. Take it offline, have a chat. I reckon you guys could do something.
Keen on that, for sure. Sounds like a great plan.
Cool.